At some point, life will hit you so hard you won't know which way is up. It already has for some of you watching this. You've lost something, someone, something you built, a version of yourself you loved. And the question isn't whether it happened. The question is what happens next. Because research shows that what separates people who are destroyed by loss from people who are transformed by it has nothing to do with the size of the loss. It has everything to do with what happens inside them in the aftermath. If this is your first time here, welcome to Wisdom Forgotten. Subscribe. We take ancient Eastern wisdom and modern psychology and turn them into tools you can actually use. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with the biggest myth about resilience, that resilient people feel less pain, that they are somehow harder, more detached, less affected by loss, that their secret is emotional armor that deflects what would break the rest of us. That is completely wrong. The research shows the opposite. The most resilient people feel pain deeply. They grieve fully. They don't suppress or bypass the loss. They go into it. The difference is not the depth of the feeling, it is what they do with the feeling once they are inside it. And that difference begins with one specific capacity, meaning-making. Viktor Frankl identified it first, sitting in a Nazi concentration camp watching people die around him. The people who survived psychologically were the people who could find meaning in the suffering, not deny it, not minimize it, find meaning in it. Frankl wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." The Japanese embedded this into one of their most profound philosophical concepts, Nana Korobi Ya Oki, 7 times down, 8 times up. Not a motivational slogan, a philosophical statement about human resilience. The number of times you fall is irrelevant. What matters is that the number of times you rise is always one more. Not because rising is easy, because the decision to rise, made again and again from the ground, is the fundamental expression of what it means to be human. The full psychology of resilience has 5 components. Understanding all 5 is what separates people who have resilience as a trait from people who develop it as a practice. The first is cognitive reappraisal, the ability to reframe what happened without denying it happened. This is not toxic positivity. It is the ability to hold 2 things simultaneously. This is devastating, and this contains information. This broke me, and the breaking revealed something I needed to see. The Kintsugi philosophy embodies this completely. When pottery breaks in Japan, the traditional response is to repair it with gold, to make the healed fracture the most beautiful part. The philosophy says the breaking is part of the history, the healing is part of the beauty, and the object repaired with gold is worth more than the object that never broke. Your breaks are your gold lines, not in spite of what they cost you, because of it. The second is self-efficacy, the belief, not the feeling, the belief that you are capable of influencing your own outcomes, that your actions matter, that what you do next is not irrelevant. The samurai built self-efficacy through Shugyo, deliberate hardship. They put themselves through difficulty intentionally, not to suffer, but to generate evidence. Evidence that they could handle hard things, that difficulty was survivable. Every time they came through the deliberate hardship, the belief deepened. I have been here before. I survived before. I will survive again. This is not optimism. This is evidence-based self-trust built through practice. The third is growth orientation, the fundamental belief that who you are is not fixed, that a person who has been broken is not a broken person, but a person who has been broken and is therefore different and potentially more capable than before. Carol Dweck's research established this clearly. People who believe their qualities are fixed experience failure as evidence of their limits. People who believe their qualities are developable experience failure as information about where to grow. The Zen concept of Shoshin, beginner's mind, is the Eastern expression of this. Open, curious, undefended, available to learn from whatever is in front of it, including loss, including devastation. The person with beginner's mind answers the question, "Who am I now?" with curiosity instead of terror. The fourth is community, the one most people try to skip, especially the strongest people. The research on resilience is unambiguous. No one bounces back entirely alone. Not one study of resilient individuals found sustained recovery in complete isolation. What it found consistently is at least one person, one relationship that held, one human being who witnessed the falling and stayed. The Okinawan concept of Moai, the social circle that stays together for life, is built entirely on this understanding. The difference between being destroyed and bouncing back is sometimes nothing more than one person who remained. If you were trying to bounce back right now in complete isolation, this is the component you are missing. Asking for support is not weakness, it is biology. The fifth is post-traumatic growth, the documented phenomenon where people who experience significant trauma don't just return to their previous baseline, they exceed it. More empathetic, more purposeful, more clear about what matters, more capable of genuine connection than before the loss. The people who experience this share one characteristic above all others. They allowed the experience to change them. They didn't fight their way back to who they were before. They grieved who they were before, and they became someone new. This is the deepest teaching of Kintsugi. The pot repaired with gold is not the same pot. The breaking changed it permanently, but the change is not damage, it is transformation. The goal after significant loss is not to return, it is to become. So, what does this mean practically when you're on the ground? One stone at a time. When you are down, the full recovery feels unsurvivable. So you don't think about the mountain, you think about one stone. Today's stone might be finding one thing this experience is teaching you. Tomorrow's stone might be one action, one email, one conversation, one step outside. The next day's stone might be telling one person the truth about where you are and letting them stay with you there. Stone by stone, day by day. Not because you can see the summit, but because the samurai knew, and research confirms, that the person who keeps getting up one more time than they fall is not defined by the falling. They are defined by the rising. And every rise, no matter how small, is evidence of the most important truth about you. You have done this before. You are doing it now, and you will do it again. Not because life gets easier, because you get more capable. Not because the hits get softer, because your ability to absorb and transform them deepens with every one you survive. Nana Korobi Ya Oki. 7 times down, 8 times up. That is not a promise that you won't fall again. It is a promise about who you are when you do. Subscribe to Wisdom Forgotten. Drop a comment. Where are you watching from? And what is the hardest thing you have ever bounced back from? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. I read every single one. See you in the next video.